Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD. It's time to English New Edition. For tonight headlines, we have the head of state presided over the first sessions of the Council of Ministers of the year 2020. Status of the distributions of insecticide treat nets in the Ministry of Health. For the international scene, American Army mistakenly announced its withdrawal from Iraq. Welcome to our newsroom. The first Council of Ministers of the new year 2020 this morning at the Presidency Palace. The President of the Republic, Mr. Ismail Omar Guelleh, presided this morning over the work of the first Council of Ministers of the year 2020 and outstanding Council of Ministers whose work took place in the meeting room, new presidency buildings. More than the ministers arrived early in the mornings and headed for the new building where the Council of Ministers will now work. After their arrival began this first meeting of the year 2020, chaired by the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh. Several projects were on the agenda of this first Council of Ministers of the year 2020. Listen to the report.
Sous la présidence de son Excellence, M. Ismail Omar Guelleh, Président de la République, chef du gouvernement, s'est tenue ce mardi 7 janvier 2020 la première séance du Conseil des ministres qui s'est déroulée au Palais de la Présidence de la République.
The first question, draft law establishing the Servant Fund of Djibouti. The purpose of this bill is to establish and set up Servant Fund. The feasibility and relevance of setting up a Servant Fund in the Republic of Djibouti has been demonstrated, as has the urgent need to set up this mechanism in order to better manage the surplus in the public treasury and generate savings for future generations. The mission of the state-owned investment fund will be to invest in the economic fabric of profitable projects with high job creation potential and to co-invest with national and international investors in projects conducive to the country's development. In order to carry out its missions and achieve its objectives, it was deemed necessary to create a private limited company with a simplified government structure. The creation of this Servant Fund will make it possible to contribute to the development and economic growth of the country, the diverse section of the state's source of income, and the perpetuation of existing or future annuities. This Servant Fund is thus called upon to implement, finance, and support all sectors, and in particular projects deemed strategic by the government, notably energy, tourism, infrastructure, fisheries, and etc. The establishment of this financial tool will also help our country to mobilize more resources and financing on favorable terms. For the Ministry of Higher Education and Research, second question, draft decree on the special statute of the body of teachers researchers of the university. The purpose of this draft decree is to define the statute of teacher researchers at the University of Djibouti. Today, the university has 300 teachers, including 92 doctors, to carry out its public service missions of training and research under optimal conditions. In order to continue the process of mastery on the one hand and to begin with the establishment of the first doctoral training courses in joint supervision with partner universities on the other, it is necessary to establish a new statutory framework for the teaching staff. This decree aims to create two frameworks, namely that of lecturers and that of university professors. It defines the missions of this new body and clarifies the conditions for the exercise of teaching and research functions with the university. This project will make it possible to develop human resources for sustainable socio-economic development. It is also part of the strategy to increase the international and regional dimension of the University of Djibouti. Third question, draft decree fixing the conditions and modalities of granting to private higher education institutions the accreditation of training courses as its withdrawal. Fourth question, draft order fixing the specification of the accreditation of private higher education streams. The first draft aims at modifying the decree on the conditions and modalities of granting the accreditation of training courses. This draft provides for the new procedures for evaluating accreditation applications by specifying all the stages as well as introducing a double evaluation by the Ministry of Education and a team of independent experts. This text aims to guarantee the quality of the conditions and contents of training in the higher education offer provided by the private sector. The second draft defines the terms of reference for the accreditation of private higher education courses. This text integrates an exhaustive list of parameters required during the evaluation of accreditation requests, as well as the formats of the developments which could be delivered by private higher education institutions. The adoption of these drafts will make it possible to strengthen the monitoring of the teaching and training activities of private higher education institutions in response to the need for better qualifications. It constitutes an organizational basis for the standardization of private higher education. Minister of Labor in charge of administrative reform. Fifth question, draft decree on the pricing of health establishment of the Minister of Health. The purpose of the draft decree is to repeal and replace the provisions of Decree number 2017-114 on the pricing of health establishment of the Ministry of Health. Expenditure on universal health insurance has reached considerable proportions and is likely to jeopardize the implementation of universal medical coverage. Therefore, it was decided to return to the drafting of the Decree number 2015-795, which sets the medical acts and procedures covered by the universal health insurance as well as their reimbursement rates by the CNSS. This measure is made necessary on the one hand in the general interest to ensure the sustainability of the university health insurance and on the other hand to have a regulation that complies with international standards in this area. The adoption of this project will enable the National Social Security Fund to carry out its missions under the best conditions, in particular to improve the social coverage of the population. As for the Ministers of Housing and Social Affairs, sixth question, draft decree amending and supplementing Decree number 2017-194 PR relating to the declaration of public utility of the steady perimeter of the integrated urban development projects to Mbalbala. The purpose of this draft decree is to amend and supplement the decree on the declaration of public utility of the steady perimeter of the integrated urban development project to Mbalbala. Our country obtained an additional financing of 7 million euros, 1.3 billion Djiboutian francs, which aims at increasing the achievements by increasing the volume of the planned works related to the opening up and the improvement of living environment, especially in the districts of Layabele. In order to have a better course of the actions referred to in the overall long-term strategy and to have a rapid impact in the reduction of poverty in the sector, it is deemed necessary to amend certain provisions of the above-mentioned decree. This project is part of a long-term strategic vision with the implementation of the various components, particularly road infrastructure, local market, and social facilities, and the reorganization of land ownership. It aims to improve the living conditions of the populations of these neighborhoods and strengthen the productive capacities of vulnerable populations. Secretariat of State for Youth and Sports. Question number 7. Draft order approving and implementing the 2020 budget of the National Institute of Sports Training. The provincial budget of the National Institute of Sports Training for the financial year 2020 is set in expense and income at 42 million Djiboutian francs. The main missions of the sport training institution is the management of sports centers, the training of human resources, and the promotion of the development of national sport through the detection of young talents. This budget to the establishment will allow it to improve its administrative and financial management and pursue its missions. The adoption of this project will constitute this tool for the promotion and development of national sport.
The Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation Government spokesperson Mahmoud Ali Yusuf took part in the meetings of foreign ministers of Arab and African countries bordering the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden, which was held yesterday in Riyadh on Monday, 6 January 2020. This meeting was devoted to the discussion of the charter established the Council of Arab and African States bordering the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. In his speech at the opening session, the head of the Djibouti diplomacy stressed the importance of this new entity. He also stressed the need to unite efforts and coordinate collective work in the face of growing challenges. Following this, the Djiboutian minister expressed his deep concerns at the escalation of the tension in the region and called for restraint and prevention of anything that could aggravate the situation. At the end of the meeting, the ministers proceeded to sign the charter establishing the Council of Arab and African States bordering the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden. It should be noted that 8 countries participate in the said meeting, namely Saudi Arabia, the Republic of Djibouti, Egypt, Sudan, Yemen, Somalia, Jordan, and Eritrea. On the sidelines of the meeting, Saudi King Salman bin Abdul Aziz received the foreign ministers of the participating countries. Under the chairmanship of the Honorable Kaltoum Farah Saeed, the Committee of the Legislation and General Administration is met this Monday, January 6, 2020. The committee rooms of the National Assembly. The government was represented by the Minister of Energy in charge of Natural Resources, Yunus Ali Gedi, who was accompanied by senior officials of his department. The agenda of this meeting focused on the examinations of bill on the constitution and maintenance the emergency stocks of petroleum product. It deal on the one hand with the substitutions of the CDH in the obligation and responsibilities of Djibouti Oil Supply Company, which has been liquidated. On the other hand, with the introductions of a tax of 1 Djibouti franc per liter of petrol and diesels, its integration into the price structure. This tax is justified by the considerable increase in demand for diesel oil from legal users, namely the UNIADA and the Ministry of Agriculture. This morning, the People's Palace hosted a ceremony to officially launch the mass distribution campaign as part of the fight against malaria. Listen to the report.
People's Palace hosted this morning an official launch ceremony for the mass distribution of LLINs as part of the fight against malaria. Indeed, the ceremony, placed under the high patronage of the Minister of Health, Mr. Mohamed Warsama Dere, took place in the presence of the Minister of Muslim Affairs and Property Waqfs, Mr. Mu'min Hassan Bari, the Vice President of the UNFD, Mrs. Hasna Hamad Bili, the WHO representative, Dr. Ahmad Zoutain, and the UNDP representative, Mr. Fatima Al-Sheikh. The minister and his guests visited the various presentation stands on the range of actions that are being undertaken in the framework of vector control in Djibouti. The event will have thus generated a large mobilization of all health professionals, but also community health actors who followed with interest in the various programs of this lunch day related to the mass distribution campaign for the two most affected communities, namely the communities of Bal'aus and Ras Dega. The audience listened attentively to the different presentations made by experts to explain the importance of the use of friendly mosquito nets, as well as the need for multi-sectoral involvement of all stakeholders for the success of this vector control. This mass distribution campaign comes in the wake of an outbreak of viral fever transmitted by mosquitoes, which particularly affected the communities of Bal'aus and Ras Dega.
In their speech, the UNDP representative Ms. Fatima El-Sheikh and the WHO representative Dr. Ahmed Zoutain both reaffirmed their commitment to support government efforts in the fight against vector-borne disease. The Vice President of UNFD, Hasna Hamad Bili, recalled the full involvement of the National Union of Djibouti Women alongside the Ministry of Health in this fight against vector-borne disease. The Vice President also urged the population to follow the recommendations of the Health Department advocating the use of impregnate mosquito nets to avoid mosquito bites. For his part, the Minister of Health, Mr. Mohamed Warsama Dere, appealed to civil society for their participation in efforts to intensify the fight against the vector, which, according to him, is an absolute priority in the health policy as enacted by the President of the Republic, Ismail Omar Guelleh. The Minister has so to speak call for the involvement of all concerned actors who contribute effectively to this new virtuous dynamic aimed at curbing the spread of malaria and vector-borne disease in the Republic of Djibouti. A working meeting in Addis Ababa between the chairman of the Port and Free Zone Authority, Abubakar Omar Haddi, at the head of strong delegations, including our ambassador in Addis, the Ethiopian Ministers of Transport, main topics of discussion, preparations and creation of the coordination mechanism for the transport of 1.54 million tons of fertilizers from our port to Ethiopia. The meeting was attended by the port commanders, the general manager of Turale Multipurpose Port, the general managers of the company in charges of the corridor, general manager of the port of Tujura, and the general manager of the company in charges of one-stop shop systems of ports. On the Ethiopian side, the ministers was accompanied by the Director General of the Ethiopian Maritime Affairs Authority, Director General of the Ethiopian Logistics and Shipping Company, and some other collaborators. A monitoring and coordination committee has been set up to ensure that this product is transported and delivered on time. This morning, the National Police organized a bench operations in several sectors of Djibouti City. To this end, all elements of the National Police were mobilized at down to carry out a raid in area identified as a hotbed for the sale of narcotics and illegal migrations, under the leadership of the Director General of National Police, Colonel Abdullahi Abdi Farah. These operations were carried out by all the units of the National Police Assembly in the early hours of the mornings in order to sweep through the high crime areas in Djibouti. This operation, which is part of the fight against illegal migration, led to the arrest of hundreds of migrants who had settled in makeshift houses and were engaged in illegal activities such as the sale of narcotics. The Director General of Education, Abdi Dirir Gire, led yesterday afternoon the work of preparatory meetings of the school sports championship for the year 2019 and 2020 season. This meeting took place at the headquarters of MENFOP in the presence of the new head of Department of Sport Cultures, Mr. Mustafa Hassan Roble, inspectors of physical sport Abdul Qadir Isa and Rami Muhammad Ali, as well as the coordinators and the head of the sports commissions also took part in this meeting. It should be noted that this year's the school sports championship 2019-2020 season is in middle and secondary school was played between the team that qualified from last year's tournament. More generally, sports and cultural activities should start Saturday, January 11, 2020, continue every Saturdays in the three sites of the capital, namely Djibouti State High School, the CM of Fukuzawa, and Lika, for disciplines such as football, basketball, handball, and athletics. It is with sadness that we have just learned of the death of the great artist Muhammad Ali Hamad Kamal Haji Ali, known as Kamal Haji Ali. Kamal comes from the family of the Sultanate of Goba, the young uncles of La'ad, the grandsons of Humad Al-Uita, the great son of Haji Ali, whose history the people of Djibouti don't even know about. Kamal, obliged to follow his father's, continued his studies in Ethiopia, where he started English and Amharic classes in 1963-1967. At the same time, he enrolled in the schools of Alliance Française from 1965 to 1967. to express his deepest condolence and sympathy to the bereaved to the members of his national artistic family and to all his friends and fans for the loss of this talented artist, known for his creativity and his great contribution to Djiboutian music. The family of artists is in mourning with the death of the great artist, musician, composers Muhammad Ali Hamad, known as Kamal Haji Ali, community patriarch and modernizers of Djiboutian music. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. For the international scene, confusions reign around the announcement of the withdrawal of American troops from Iraq. Listen to the report.
Confusion wins around the announcement of the withdrawal of American troops from Iraq. In a letter signed by General William H. Seeley, the U.S. Army announced on Monday, January 6, that it will leave the country. Then a few minutes later, the head of the Pentagon, Mark Spector, gave a denial. No decision had been made to leave Iraq, period, the U.S. Defense Secretary told the press. This letter does not reflect our state of mind today. General Mark Milley, U.S. Army Chief of Staff, said it is a poorly drafted draft designed to inform Baghdad of increased troop movements. It was an unsigned draft of a letter, Milley told the press. It was sent to some Iraqi military leaders because U.S. troops movements in Iraq have increased in recent days. This is a mistake made in good faith.
Who will be elected the African Players of the Year 2019? Now, more detail in this video.
Who will be elected African Player of the Year 2019? Senegal's Sadio Mane is the favorite to win the trophy, which will be awarded on Tuesday, 7 January at the ceremony organized by the Confederation of African Football, CAF, in Egypt. Fourth in the Ballon d'Or standings ahead of Egypt's Mohamed Salah, 5th, and Algeria's Riyad Mahrez, 10th. The other two finalists, Mane, 27, has the opportunity to become the first Senegalese player to be crowned Best African Player since El Hadji Diouf on 2002. Salah has already been crowned Best African Player in 2017 and 2018, while Mahrez won the title in 2016. Teammates at Liverpool, Mane and Salah had a successful year with victories in the Champions League, European Super Cup, and the World Cup Championship. Only the Premier League eluded them, to the benefit of the third runner-ups.
This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.